Well, it's time for a fish room update. It's been months and... Well, this is a weird way to start the video. With more information comes more questions. As I learned more about the FTC and influencer relationships, I learned that the painting that you will see in this video was sent to me not free because I paid for the shipping, but I didn't pay for the painting, which came from Aquashella that I'd been lusting over for the past, over a year? I wanted to buy it. They said, no, you could just have it. I put it in my fish room, I paid for the shipping, but now I'm worried that anytime I show it on screen, it's gonna be this weird, he didn't disclose it's sponsored. He technically didn't give them anything for that painting, even though he paid $300 for shipping. So weird thing, hashtag, all this crap is sponsored, enjoy the show. We've gotten pretty far, but we're not done by any means. So we're just gonna dive into it here. And we've got the air system done. We used, and I say we, Dean, masterminded this whole project pretty much. We ran rigid, so this is not flexible tubing like it would be in here, rigid tubing, melted it over the corners, and it runs down to the bottom, and away it goes. All the way back to our main piping back here that we've kind of hidden. Unfortunately over here, I have a goldfish that I woke up this morning and was stuck to the 800-gallon overflow, which is weird because that fish was doing great yesterday, hoping it makes some kind of recovery. So that's a bad note to start the video on, but we'll chime with the goldfish later. Obviously nothing else in here. But over here, let me grab a stool, because we've got some projects going on actually over here. And one of the new fish that we have, which we have many new fish, are these black-chinned live bears. So you can see there, their gonopodium is black, the belly is black and yellow, and they're a fun live bear. And that's what we've got going on in this pond right here. You can see them swimming around. We've got plants. Now I've been intentionally doing some plant testing. The only light we have going on in here is overhead lighting up above, right? So what I've found is the water sprite pushing forward, doing quite well. No fertilizers are going in here or anything like that. But the Pogostemon stellatus octopus right there, not doing so hot. So if I go grab it here, and this is something you guys can learn, this is a plant that is not thriving. It's been in here for a few weeks, and you can see the color is like a lime, not lime, like a yellowy green, and it's just not doing well. This plant is not getting enough light. That's what's happening. It's losing some of its leaves, and it's not doing well. Where this plant, if we go and pull it up, color is good on it, and it's growing leaps and bounds. So I think I could do a bunch of water sprite in these tubs if I wanted to, or I can add lighting, and I'm considering adding lighting in the form of maybe some track lighting up above, and then either hang lights down or point them at the individual unit. I'll show you some other light tests that we've been doing. I'm gonna put these guys back in the tote. Thank you to what is it, Preston John? I think Preston John. I can't remember his last name on camera, but he sent these out to me and I'm appreciative. I've been looking for these guys. I want to work on them and get them to be more black bellied, less yellow bellied. Nevertheless, a fun live bear to be playing with in one of the totes. All right, next up we have a pond, shocking, where we have brought the guppies I brought back from Vienna, which are in that tank down over there. We floated the breeder basket and they dropped a bunch of fry. As you can see swimming around here, we've been growing them up. Now, we also have cherry shrimp in here. Let's see if I can, they're on the sides. We put 50 of them in here to start breeding. That's a good point. Let's check on this Pogostemon stellatus octopus, see if it's doing any better. It might be getting a little bit better light. Nah, it's not gonna do well either. But let's check on this water sprite, see how it's doing. It's not doing as good as the other one, but it barely had any food going in because there was just babies. So, still think I'm gonna have to increase lighting. And then if we go over here, we got nothing in this one so far because I don't want to put guppies next to each other. We'll have to put something else in here. We've got some red tuxedo females in the floating basket. This video at the time of filming came out today. And the adults are over in that 75 gallon. And then we've got nothing again. We've got some fish on the way to kind of fill some of this up, and nothing in these big totes over here, except for that goldfish. And then we go over here, we're doing some lighting tests. And this lighting test, what I don't like is it starts to grow algae on the gravel. And so I think it's too much light. And it doesn't look very cool, so I want to hang light from the ceiling. That being said, over here we're doing some plant repair. This was floating in a tank for a very long time. It's got algae all over it. But what's in here is starting to clean it. There are, I don't know if we'll be able to see any on camera, but there are scuds in here. And so they've also, now that we put light back on this, we're repairing this fern that was not doing well. So that's putting out new growth, which is good. All the rhizomes are still there. And we're basically just making scuds, little feeder shrimps. Over here we brought in platinum rice fish. On second thought, platinum rice fish on white gravel or crushed coral. Not the easiest thing to see, I'm gonna go ahead and say that right now, but I'm hoping once I get some plants growing in here that we will be cranking them out like they are outside. We've got them outside also. I didn't want to bring them all in and then potentially lose them. This system over here, we are running off of the USB air pump still. And just as a comparison, working just fine. Still have done no water changes at all in this system. Now I do need to do one water change over here. I think there's a chemical left over from the casting process on these. And so I don't know if we will see it on the top of the water, but there's a film on this one. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but I can see it. And so I need to, maybe if I can get it. Yeah, I need to do a little bit of water change in there. But lots more things going on. We've been feeding lots of flake food, and we've got auto feeders set up and all that going on. We've been liquidating the clownlichers through the store. They're moving out. These guys up here, these are the catfish I brought back from Peru. I think they might be eating some brine shrimp at this point. I've still never seen them eat, but I'll put the brine shrimp in down here. I'll see them there. I don't see them eat it, and there's not as much left the next day. Like there'll be a little bit maybe on top of the log, and some ends up on the top of the sponge filter. Now, every 3 or 4 days, I'm gravel vacuuming and cleaning the sponge and the glass in here. I'm running it pretty natural. There's some blue-green algae, because I don't know what they're eating or what they want to eat. And so I'm leaving as much as I kind of can in there and just working with it. So we'll just have to see how it goes and keep trying. You know, I love that they've got the whiptail action to them. You know, the long streamer fin there, but you know, I've tried a bunch of foods, rapashi, frozen foods, dry foods, wafers, and I've yet to see them go, oh wow, look, they're chowing down on that. I've tried reducing the lighting. I took the Oscar out of here. The Oscar used to live with them. The Oscar is now over here in this 75 gallon. We removed the Pseudotropheus solosi because they weren't breeding fast enough for me. So there's my gorgeous Oscar. And there's actually babies in here from the Pseudotropheus solosi that live under that rock. So that's kind of cool. I want to put a sponge filter in here. Want to replace that white pipe with black PVC piping. The Oscar was nice enough to kill my dwarf aquarium lily that was floating there needing to be planted. And doing what Oscars do. These are the guppies that are reproducing. Eventually these are all going to live in a pond, and we'll quarantine a new fish here. These are new fish. These are the Santa Claus guppies I got from Twin Cities Guppies. Hashtag sponsored, because he didn't let me pay for them. I had to wait like 18 months to get them. He just sent me some. I got 2 trios. I put 1 trio in Dean's hand and 1 trio in my hand just in case something went wrong. At the moment, there's nothing up here. This is, well, it was gonna be quarantined for new fish, but it's likely we're gonna turn this into a breeding tank. And I know it's all upended. We had to catch all the fish that were out of there. So we did that. We need to take a couple more rocks out. I wanna change the way it is, because you can see like we were just potting the plants behind rocks, and then you get these mega crypts that are in the pot. So You know, they look fine when they were hidden, but now when they're not hidden, not so good. But why do I not have fish in this tank yet? Well, that's because over here, the THREADFIN albino ACARAS are finally starting to show breeding behavior. And I realize there's algae right here, but I don't want to disturb them. It's, you know, not super bad, but it looks bad on camera. But these pits are what they're digging. So they've dug 4 or 5 pits. So I've been feeding them with the auto feeder. They're conditioned, they're ready to breed, but I think there's too many of them in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up a seat and I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna watch, like, okay, that male and what female is his choice female. Catch those, rehome them right to over here. Obviously, I'll move this stuff out of the way so I can dig a big pit right here, breed, raise up the fry. That'll be fun. I'll film it. So that's the current goal with that tank. That's why I haven't done a whole lot yet, is I don't want to disrupt. I want to catch the pair or a couple pairs. I was at first going to move some of these over there to help eat leftover scraps. I don't think they would, you know, bite at their fins or anything like that. But then they started breeding and I want to catch the pair, or at least some pairs. In here, we've liquidated and we've brought it back to a pair of, well, not back to, but now it is only a pair of APISTOGRAMMA CACATOUIDES orange flash. Previously, we had bred some Resbora hets in here, which if you guys, I think that was like a little stories clip or a members only little 30-second clip, something like that. Down below, we do have the guppies I brought back from Vienna. We've taken out some hardscape. And we're just making sure we have enough before we put them all in a pond. You can see here the auto feeder is feeding out some little food that's on top of that rock. And we've got some black rose shrimp still that I may or may not populate a pond with. Don't know. They don't sell that well. Over here we've got Turtle Town. In Turtle Town we removed the cancer filter. We've got one sponge filter going. We've been working on cleaning it up. We've got a lot of the algae out. And we're gonna build the lay box and maybe we'll raise some more turtles. We gotta find some home for some of these turtles first. There's a lot of them. And the fish that were, you know, always meant to kind of live in here and get eaten, don't get eaten. So they just keep proliferating over and over and over again, all these live bears. And I put some more predators like that little rainbow shark in there, and he's not eating very many babies. So it's just a baby factory there, especially since I put the auto feeder on. So that's kind of the update on the inside stuff. We'll take a look at the 800 gallon and we've got plans there too. But a lot of it is, I wanna get the lighting fixed. I wanna get plants in. I've been working on decorations. So we were lucky enough, I fell in love with this painting 18 months ago at Aquashella. And I harassed them enough that I was able to get a hold of it. And it's quite an ordeal to ship it from Chicago to Seattle, but now it lives in the fish room. I think I'm gonna put a couple decorations there and there, fix the lighting over these ponds, and find a few more. I know I've got panda guppies held at Dean's house. Those are gonna be one of the fish going in one of these. I wanna get some normal fancy guppies going. I've got hyphen variatus, and I think there's maybe one other fish in holding still. And then still, I wanna use some for quarantine of goldfish. Like, oh, you're killing me, buddy. Like, I don't know, it's still live and everything, and I just came in today, and instead of swimming around, it was up in the corner, right where the overflow was. And so, you know, I hope it makes recovery, but, you know, these guys are little chubby pigs. I'm gonna put an auto feeder on them, get them really feeding well. I'm gonna run some more meds, more general cure. If I have it here, if not, I'm gonna grab, yeah, I've got it right here. General cure. Run some more meds through them. And I've got plans to add some Brochus multiradiatus, which are kind of a large corridor catfish. There's still the reticulated hillstream loach that is on that sponge filter. Not sponge filter, air stone. And these air stones, people always ask me what they are. I got them off Amazon, they're like 20 bucks each. I don't like them that much because they get brown and ugly pretty quick. And the flow is not uniform, as you can kind of see. Very different on each one, but you know, goldfish experiment, they ate my Vallisneria. They leave the crinum just fine because it has that rock around it. I'm gonna find a few more rocks with holes in it and go ahead and plant them. And get it going from there. Now, want to add more goldfish as well. I'm on the lookout, and I added the FX6, which you guys have probably seen in live streams. It has made no difference on water clarity. Like the water, it's the lighting. Lighting on camera looks bad, and then I need to tune the lighting a little bit. So I might be changing lighting a bit. I guess Kessel's willing to give me some lights, so I'm maybe willing to try that. I just want to see what light's gonna make it look good. And I did pick up some more tests. So if we go over here, this light, which I think is gonna be amazing, but I haven't done any testing yet, is from Costco. The shop LED light comes with a remote control, and you can adjust it up and down. 4,000 Kelvin temperature rating, so it's a little orangey to it, but it's only like 30 bucks, and I want to play with it because it's not quite 48, I don't think. Yeah, it's 45 and something. So it's a weird size for an aquarium, but I want to see if a different color temperature will help with the 800 gallon. And so what I'm thinking is, when I look at the 800 gallon, if we go back in there, you see my mess of electronics and samples. But the blue light from the Fluval lights, you can see them right there and there, that helps. Like if I turn all of like the white and the blue off, the haze kind of disappears. So I'm hoping that if I possibly put maybe a more orangish light on there, if that'll help. And I want to see how the goldfish look, and there's a lot to change. But as always, that's part of the gotta work on it. And that's what I'm doing. I just want to film an update because it's been months and I have been working on it, but I work on it slow because I do a lot of other work. But that's where we are, and I think it looks a lot better with kind of the painting and cleaned up and streamlined a lot of stuff. You know, I've got all of the doors off, and we're getting back to breeding. That's the important part. We've got brine shrimp hatcher set up in testing. Need to modify it some more. Got a new dehumidifier installed over there. It's pumping to the turtle tank, which that's not done yet. I should just have it pumped straight to the drain right there, but I haven't drilled it in yet. And it's a lot of little things like that, you know. Need to sweep and mop and get everything ready. I want to install feeders on all of these so that when I'm in China, which is in a couple of weeks, they'll be fed every day. And, you know, my wife can feed, but we need, like this, there's only 3 fish in there, so it's a very little amount where, you know, once these things are teeming with fish and shrimp and all that, we need quite a bit of food to be going in these. So, yeah. Let me know if you guys have got any good ideas on what we should be doing or what fish are going to work great in the ponds. I want orange rice fish, platinum rice fish, lots of live bears, and just tons of fish in general. Wow, it's hot in here. It's 83. I've been running it extra warm in this room to see if heating it up more for those guys help, but it doesn't seem to make a difference so far. So I'm going to turn the heat back down, and well, the heat might be the difference actually in what made those guys finally spawn over there. So I'll have to think about it. But all right, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and it's been another Fish Room Update.